Hi, I'm Danny. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace spark plugs on a 2007 Honda Element. I'm going to also do a compression test. This will test the health of my engine, and it's a great time to do it because the plugs are already out. I'm also adding links to everything I talk about in this video, and I'll leave these in the description. Hopefully this saves you time and makes it easier for you to complete the job using the correct tools and parts. Let's get started. All right, so the first step is to go ahead and get this cover off. It's just a 10 millimeter. So we've got a little 1/4-inch socket with an extension, 10 millimeter. And through this whole process, I'll be using hand tools. It's fairly simple job. So we just have 4 nuts here. Let me set these aside and let's get this cover off. Next, I'm going to take the bolts out of the coils so I can get these coils up. And if you notice, I have 2 studs there and there. So that was from this plate, how it went up. You're definitely going to need a deep 10 millimeter for that. So I'll go ahead and just get these going now. That one's loose. That's loose. That one's loose. That one's loose. We'll just take them off by hand the rest of the way. There's 1, there's 2. So now the coils need to come off, but the connector needs to come out too. The best way I figure is you just get them loose, pull it up a little bit, and you see this tab right there? That tab just needs to push in, and then you kind of rock it a little bit, and there it is. That one came out. So I can take my coil and set that aside. Let's go to the next one here. And this little tab right here again. That one's out. And then this one here, same thing. That one's out. And what you're doing on this tab is you're just pushing that tab in. And you don't want to pull the wires, you want to pull the connector. And yours might be a little bit more brittle than mine, so be careful. And then once again, that one's coming up. And push the tab. Pull it out. And I'm going to put these on the bench in order. Now I want to look inside the spark plug hole to make sure there isn't a bunch of dirt, rocks, oil, whatever might fall in. And mine's are looking pretty clean here. Looks good. And these all 4 look good. If you saw oil in the spark plug holes or on the coils, you're gonna need a valve cover gasket. But don't worry, I have a video on that and I'll link that in the description. Now it's time to remove the plugs. I'm using a snap-on spark plug wrench, 5/8. A 6-inch extension, and just a ratchet. So the way I like to do it is I like to give it just a little bit of tighten first and then loosen it. That kind of breaks anything that's kind of holding that spark plug in. And I found doesn't strip out that way. Get it loose, and then I'll do the rest by hand. it is. There's the first one. Do the same thing. We'll tighten it a bit. Get it loose. And let's pull it up nice and slow so the spark plug doesn't fall down. As we get to the top, we'll turn it. If you made it this far in the video, please take a minute and subscribe to my page. It really helps me out. And that's what this channel is all about, helping each other out. Now, back to the video. And set them on the bench in order. That way you can inspect them and see exactly which cylinder's running a little bit lean or a little bit rich. All right, once again, once it gets loose enough for hand tight, all right, same thing, set that aside. So far so good. And then the last one here, if that comes out okay, we're golden. We're going to tighten it just a bit. And if it binds up at any time, tighten it back up. And if it's still binding, get yourself some penetrating lube, put it in there and come back in about 30 minutes. Mine are fine. This one's a little bit tighter than the rest coming out, but it's still like really perfect. Now, last time I did these, I put a little bit of anti-seize on there. Some people tell you not to do it. Others say it's okay. So you figure out how you want to do it. I'm just telling you that if you put a little bit on there, they come out a whole lot easier and they don't screw up the heads. That's just my experience. That one's good. And if you look at it, there's no, you can't see anti-seize on there. Now, if you look at the owner's manual on page 244, if you come over here to spark plugs, it'll show you exactly what spark plugs you can use. I'm using the NGKs, and those are gapped at 39 to 43 thousandths, or 1 to 1.1 millimeter. Now, this is what the old plugs are looking like, and they actually look pretty good. I'm going to just check the gap real quick. My feeler gauge is set to 39 thousandths, and it's sliding in perfect. So these are gapped properly. The new plugs are already gapped from the factory. I would just give it a quick check just to make sure. As far as the coils, what you're looking for is you just want to make sure these pins are straight. They're not bent. Nothing's cracked up here. And then no oil. There shouldn't be any oil anywhere on these. If so, you need a valve cover gasket. At this time, I'm going to perform an engine compression test. It's the perfect time to do it because the spark plugs are out of the vehicle. Doing a compression test will let me know the mechanical health of my engine. My engine has 130,000 miles on it, and I don't expect to see any problems. If you're replacing the plugs due to a running condition, this will help identify any mechanical issues. I'm not going to show the compression test in this video, but I'll add a link in the description of where you can watch that video. All right, so let's get the plugs back in, and there's two ways to do it. One is you put it in here, and then you just put it in this way. Now, this is a snap-on spark plug wrench, and it's made for putting the spark plugs in, but if you have something cheaper, maybe a Harbor Freight brand, it's probably going to just fall out when you put it there. So let me show you a trick. Get yourself a piece of hose. You just put it in here like this, and then you can just put it inside the hole, and then you start it this way. The other good thing about doing it this way is you don't cross thread anything, because if it doesn't go in, the hose will just slip. So right there it stopped, so it's in. Now I'll do it this way with this one too. This way you got to be really careful. Get it in, and it's actually easier if you have the right tools. And these are all snap-on tools, so it's like a lot better. Here, we'll do it this way on this one, just to kind of show you it's kind of like the same on either one. There it is. You can hear it. It stopped. And then this one. Then let me grab my torque wrench. All right, so we'll torque it to 13 foot-pounds. That one's good. That one's good. That's good. And this torque wrench, I did a review on this. I'll put the link to that video in the description, but I'm really liking it. It's pretty inexpensive, and it's held up really well so far. Now we'll get our coils in, and I'm putting them in the exact same spot they came out. That's not really necessary. I just like to put things exactly where they came apart and everything back in its own place. So that's how I do it. And then as you're putting them in, yeah, put that connector in. And get them all in before you tighten anything down. Make sure that it clicks. That's on, that's on. Nice, nice. And here's the bolts. Just get them started by hand. Two of them had studs like that, so it would be the, this one doesn't have a stud. This one had a stud. And when I mean stud, I meant, that's what it's looking like right there. Then this one. Let's make sure that's right. Let me go back this way. Yep, perfect. Get these finger tight. And let's get our torque wrench. All right, so these are 8.8 foot-pounds. Here we go. And then we got to get our cover on there. Here's the studs. And these are 7.3 foot-pounds. So adjusted it a little. the spark plugs are in. I hope you learned something in today's video. Please give it a like and subscribe. Don't forget to watch the compression test video, and I have all the tools and parts listed in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.